Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today's gonna be a different kind of video. Before I even started this channel and I had the thought of starting a YouTube channel, this is something that I've wanted to do and I wanted to have on my channel. And today I'm gonna be talking about the labor and delivery of my son, Nash. I just love birth stories. I think that they are amazing. I think the woman's body is incredible. So I wanted to share my labor and delivery experience. And I know everyone's labor and delivery experience is different. Sometimes they're kind of similar. We go through the same things. We do things differently. And so I wanted to kind of talk about my experience and what went down. I know how scary it can be to deliver a baby. I was super scared and super nervous, and honestly, I went to YouTube for help. I watched other moms' birth videos and birth vlogs, birth stories where they just talk about their birth, and it honestly helped me. It helped calm my anxiety. It helped calm the nerves. It helped me. And I know several of my friends who have done the same thing. So that's why I'm making this video, so that if someone stumbles upon this and it gives them some kind of clarity, they're not so anxious about it, because it's seriously an incredible experience that I'm forever grateful for. So if you want to hear the labor and delivery story of my son, then just keep watching. My pregnancy was pretty normal as far as the first and second trimester go. I would say it was the norm. I was sick my first trimester with nausea. I threw up a couple times. I had very bad food aversions. I did not want Chick-fil-A at all. Like Chick-fil-A, seriously, the thought of it, when someone said Chick-fil-A, I could literally smell it and I wanted to throw up. It was that bad. My second trimester was good. I wasn't really sick. I mean, I was tired. During my second trimester, we actually moved out to Virginia for my husband, who was going to school out there. And we lived out there till about a little into my third trimester when we decided to move back to Utah. And so my husband went to Southern Virginia University, which is in Buena Vista, Virginia. It's about an hour away from Roanoke. So we drove from there all the way to Southern Utah, which it took us, I think, 2.5 to 3 days. I think 2.5. But I was 35 weeks pregnant, and I do not recommend, I'm putting that out there, I do not recommend driving across country when you're that pregnant, because it was miserable. I experienced Braxton Hicks. I was just so uncomfortable. Nash was jabbing me in the ribs. It just was not fun. So we get home. We go about, getting ready for the baby, because we only, we have a couple weeks left. We're super excited. And I didn't experience super bad stretch marks until my third trimester. My third trimester, they got really bad. But the thing that made my stomach stretch marks look 10 times worse is I experienced a really bad rash, which is called the PUPS rash. And I guess it's pretty common in pregnancies, and I guess it's pretty common with boys. And I heard that once you get it, you won't get it again for another pregnancy, which I'm hoping is the case. I basically had a rash, and I will post a picture if I can find one, because I did take a picture and I'm hoping that I can find one, just so that you can see how bad it was. But I had a rash all over my stomach, and it was like a rash where there was little bumps. It was raised, and then my stretch marks were raised because they were irritated so bad from me itching them and scratching, and it was so bad. This rash actually spread. It spread to my arms, my hands, it spread to my butt, my legs. Just awful. It was awful. But the doctors weren't concerned about it. It wasn't harmful to the baby. It was just annoying and irritating for me. So that was a bummer, because it wasn't a medical reason to induce me. And I tried everything. I tried the creams. I tried the oatmeal baths. I tried sleeping with socks on, and nothing helped. I would wake up and be bleeding because I was scratching so hard. So it was pretty miserable. So let's get into the labor and delivery part. Let's see. So my son was due the 18th, which was a Wednesday, I believe. Monday rolls around. And either for about a week or a couple weeks, I had noticed less movement. Nash was a pretty active baby in the womb. Like, he was very active. And even when I like drank a sugary drink or something really cold, he just wouldn't budge. So we were pretty concerned. So we went into the doctor's Monday, which was the 16th. And they hooked me up to the little monitor. They put a little monitor around your belly, and this was, I think, my second time doing this in about a week, 2-week span. And so they hooked me up and they gave me a little like button that anytime I felt movement, I'd have to push it. So the nurse practitioner comes in and she was a little concerned. She said that there was a dip in Nash's heart rate and she wanted me to get an ultrasound. So I got an ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech said everything looked normal. His fluids were good. He looks healthy, and sent us on our way. So we went to my husband's work. I got a phone call from the doctor's office saying that there was a miscommunication with the ultrasound tech and we want you to get monitored for longer. So we want you to go to labor and delivery at the hospital. We drove over to labor and delivery. We go in, I get hooked up again, and I want to say not even 20 minutes while we're there, my doctor comes in. He's like, so there is a dip. There is a dip in Nash's heart rate. And with that, and with how miserable you are, we're going to go ahead and induce you. And I'm getting emotional already. So once he left, Jaron and I look at each other and we're just like, holy crap, we're about to be parents. It's time. We text our family. I had my dad and my stepmom and my little brother drive up from Vegas. We had our friends there. We told our mom. My cousin and my aunt drove down from up north. Like, it was showtime. So we got put into our room. So they hooked me up to the IV and they put me on Pitocin to induce me. And I want to say maybe 20, 30 minutes to an hour, my doctor comes in and breaks my water, which was the weirdest feeling ever. It literally felt like there was a balloon inside of me and it was full of water. And it just, when he popped it, just a gush of water. And it was crazy. It was really crazy. And I think by the time they checked me the next time to see how dilated I was, I think I was at a 3 or a 4. So I was progressing. And once the Pitocin kicked in and my water broke, what was that? And once my water broke, I could feel the contractions. They were coming faster. They were coming stronger. I don't know what it feels like to actually have strong contractions because I was lucky enough to be able to get the epidural soon. So I wanted to wait a little bit to get it. I'm not one of those women who don't do things unmedicated. I am a big baby when it comes to pain, and so if there's medicine to help me and to make the birthing experience, the laboring experience enjoyable, I'm gonna take the medication. So the anesthesiologist comes in to give me the epidural. Sorry about my son. He's gonna be here probably the rest of the video. But the anesthesiologist comes in and they get me ready for the epidural. And I was so nervous. I was really nervous for the epidural because it's a needle going in your back and I hate needles. So I was really nervous, but my anesthesiologist was really good at walking me through it and kind of explaining it as he went along. The nurse was awesome. She stood in front of me and you hunch over so that you've got a curve in your back. And I clenched onto her so hard. I'm like, I'm sorry if I bruise you because I hate pain and I'm so nervous. But she was awesome. So they numbed me. Hi. We're talking about you. We're talking about how you got here. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So they gave me a shot to numb me. And I think the shot hurt the worst because it really felt like it burned me. It was a burning feeling. It wasn't like a needle feeling. It was like a burning feeling. So that hurt worse than the actual epidural. The epidural, when they put it in, my experience was it felt like a bunch of pressure was just going into my spine. That's all it felt like to me. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel any discomfort, which was very comforting for me. My experience was really, really good with the epidural. So Once he was done, I was able to relax. Had lots of visitors come in. We had friends, family. My husband brought his PlayStation to the hospital. He played Fortnite. I was able to play around with Fortnite, and it was cool. It was awesome. It was funny because I'd look over and I would see a contraction on the monitor, and I'm like, I don't feel that. I feel great. And I was able to take a nap. It was really, really good. So when it came time to start pushing, it was really late or early in the morning. So I want to say it was about 1:30 to 2 o'clock is when I first started to push. The nurses came in before the doctor, and they started to like kind of teach me how to do it. Basically, it's like you're passing a bowel movement, aka pooping. So it's basically kind of what they explained to me. They helped me through the breathing. Jaron was holding up one of my legs, a nurse was holding up my other, and my poor husband almost passed out. I looked over and he's like pale white. He's like as white as me, and just seriously looked like he was gonna pass out. And so the nurse is like, you need to sit down, honey. And so I don't know if it was because he was so hungry, which I know he was, or if it was because he was following my breathing. I think it was kind of both, but he'll say otherwise. But anyway, so he almost passed out, which was really scary and funny at the same time. So after that, my doctor comes in, and I'm at a 10, and I'm like, we're like ready to go. So I push for a couple times, and Nash is face up. He's not face down. And so we pushed a couple times to try to get him to move. And my doctor, this is where my labor and delivery got pretty intense and pretty scary. First of all, I contracted some kind of infection, a uterine infection, and it caused me to have a fever. And if you don't know, if you get a fever during delivery, your baby immediately becomes a NICU baby. And I didn't know that until I watched a birth vlog where the mom did get a fever and her baby had to be a NICU baby. And so that was my biggest concern. And I was really hoping that that wasn't going to be the case with me. And once he told me that, I just started crying. I was heartbroken too, because I'm just like, what the heck? Like, my son's gonna be in the NICU. What does this mean for him? Is he gonna, once he comes out, is he gonna get the infection? Like, I was really worried. And so my doctor told me that there's a couple things that we can do if Nash doesn't turn on his own. He said there's the C-section, which I did not want a C-section. That was gonna be the absolute last option for me. I really did not want one. He said we could use the vacuum to try to get him out, or we can use the forceps. And I think that we used the vacuum. At this point, there was a crap ton of nurses because he was going to be a NICU baby. There was a crap ton of nurses in there. I had my mom, my husband, and my cousin Allison. I had them in the room originally, plus a videographer. So a total of 4 people from my side that I wanted in the room. And then there was a crap ton of nurses in there that came in. My aunt came in during it. My mother-in-law came in during it. And it was either my mother-in-law or my aunt who asked my doctor, if this was your daughter, what would you do, or what would you suggest? My heart was racing. My mind was everywhere. My mind was on my son and if he's going to be okay. And so I wasn't really paying attention, but I think that they used the vacuum to get him out or to help him. So I think they used the vacuum once. It was either the vacuum or the forceps. They might have tried both, to be honest. I honestly cannot remember. And I was able to push a couple more times and he flipped, which was awesome. And then I want to say I pushed for a total of 30 minutes, and my son was born at 3:13 in the morning on April 17th. His umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck twice. The doctor said that that is the reason why he had a dip in his heart rate. So that was really, really scary and really intense. Jaron got to cut the umbilical cord when I heard his first cry. it was amazing. It was probably the most amazing thing that I've ever heard, is hearing my son's first cry and having him placed on my chest. And when my videographer sent us the video of my son's birth, I couldn't help but bawl, because you could just see the raw emotion and just how grateful I was that I was able to bring a son in here into this world, and that he was okay and everything turned out great. My son is my rainbow baby, and if you don't know what a rainbow baby is, it is a baby that follows a miscarriage or the death of an infant or child. And I miscarried my first pregnancy at 6 weeks, and so hearing his first cry and getting him here was the biggest blessing and the best moment of my life. It was seriously amazing. So I was able to hold him for a little bit before they had to take him to the NICU. And I forgot to say that he weighed 8 pounds, 6 ounces, and he was 20 inches long. I'll insert some pictures because he was seriously just the cutest little thing. And but they took him to the NICU. They hooked him up to an IV. Jaren and my mother-in-law were able to go down with Nash and be with him in the NICU for a little bit. I got a picture from my mother-in-law of Jaren holding Nash for the first time, because he didn't get to hold him in the room where we delivered. We didn't really get to experience that moment together as a family. So they finished with me. I did get a 2nd-degree tear, so they were stitching me up and finishing everything that they needed to do, and then they transferred me to another bed to take me to our room that we would be staying in. Once I got to my room, Nash and my husband and the nurses came in, and Nash was ready to eat. And I exclusively breastfed. He was such a good eater. He latched on immediately. And the best thing is that he was able to actually be in the room with us the whole time. They only had to take him once to get his antibiotics again. But it was great. We were only in the hospital for a day and a half, I think, a day and a half or 2 days. And we were able to take him home. And he is seriously just the greatest thing that has ever happened to Jaren and I, and we can both attest to that. He is the funniest, spunkiest, can be a little dramatic sometimes, little kid. I hope you guys enjoyed this birth story. I do plan on doing more videos like this when it comes to us having another baby. As far as like trimester updates, like what's in my hospital bag, like my baby essentials. I plan on doing videos like that when baby number 2 comes. Nessie, come say bye-bye. Come here. Can you say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. So thanks so much for watching this. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.